Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of PS and
Jess.
man, do we got a treat for you guys today, don't we?
We do. I'm
So
excited
we
about
are at Fillagreen here in Manassas, Virginia. This is John and Beverly Hicks,
Hi, everybody.
owners of Fillagreen. It's
guys.
so nice to meet you guys.
And it's absolute pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Yes. So, man, you guys are just how is business going? How is
I'd say
going for you?
things are going really, really well. For having just opened the door 2 months ago, as far as for the storefront here, things are going really well. We're getting a lot of great positive feedback. We've got a steady stream of people coming in the door that understand what we're trying to do, but also those people that walk in and say, "Tell me what this is about," right? That are willing and curious to learn. So I couldn't ask for anything more in that regard. I think we're super happy about the results thus far, and we're looking forward to the challenges and the successes that are to come.
Yeah, that is awesome. You want to talk about your experience here?
Yeah, I was here last Saturday with my mom. I met Miss Bev here. I got the curl cream, so I got that in my hair right now.
Me too.
But no, this place is awesome. I think my mom actually sent me an article that you guys are interviewed for, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I want to go check it out. I love Old Town Manassas anyways. And I just love the concept of it because it's, obviously supporting small businesses, but then also, instead of reduce, reuse, recycle, it's reduce, reuse, refill.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about it. It was great to meet you the other day. And I think the idea that we can we're not going to be able to recycle our way out of this sustainability problem.
Yeah.
So the idea that at the store, maybe you could also refill some things so that we can reduce some things that we're using.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys come up with the idea? How?
You want me to tell that story?
Yeah, I've got to give all credit to Bev on this one. I'll let her tell the story.
So refill stores in general, or refilleries is what they're generally called. Sometimes they're called zero waste stores. I don't love that because honestly, I don't think anything is zero waste.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all try and reduce our waste. But the concept of that kind of store is slowly taking hold in the US. Prior, it really is very popular overseas. And the concept is simply that there would be a small refill store with all of your personal care and home care goods in your local area so that it's super convenient. They have to be a hyper local idea. Otherwise, it's not going to work, right? If it's not convenient for you, it's not going to work. And so I came to John and just said, maybe, gosh, there's nothing in Prince William County. There's absolutely nothing in Prince William County. There is a Mom's Organic Market all the way out in Woodbridge that'll let you refill on dry goods and foods and things. But other than that, there was nothing in the area. We really love Old Town, and we really thought that maybe that would be the great place for it. But, he started crunching the numbers. I was the idea person and said, could we do this? Is this a possibility? And here we are. But we also tested the market just kind of to see if there was a market for it by popping up at the City Manassas farmers market all fall. So we were there all fall, just kind of testing the concept. We were also offering website, orders and pickup and delivery and things all fall long as we were trying to figure out this idea, found this building. It became the right place for us. And we were able to get in December. So we were able to open the doors in March. So we really kind of moved at the fastest pace I've ever moved to try and make an idea go from, hey, I wonder if, to here we are in less than a year.
Yeah, that is actually, that's awesome. I mean, my wife, she's a very green person. And she tries to be, and we have a lot of I love to, we were just talking about this earlier. I love to throw away things if it hasn't been touched in a year or two. why do we have it? But then recently I've gotten to the point where I'm like, oh, we could reuse this, or we could reuse this. We were just talking about some yard work that I did at our house where we reused a lot of stuff that we had instead of throwing it away. And I'm amazed by the products you have in here. I didn't even know that it was reusable from the laundry detergent. You have laundry detergent for people with sensitive skin. My wife is wearing the curling shampoo. You
Curl.
I don't have him. So.
Yeah, John is
I'm
actually.
with you. So people look at me funny when I try and sell them shampoo.
Yeah.
He says, "Look how good it worked for
I
me."
said,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you about the shaving systems all day long if that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
But I think, from our perspective, it was a yes. We're going to look into this to start the store, and then when we decided, okay, we're going to do this, it was from the two of us. It was all hands on deck. It was sitting at the kitchen table, working until midnight while the kids were asleep, going through, researching potential vendors, researching products, researching the philosophies of the companies that we work with, because we want our values to intertwine well with theirs. And we have a very simple philosophy here, which is do it imperfectly. I would rather see 1 million people be imperfectly ecologically conscious than just a small number of people being perfect stewards, because with 1 million folks, you're going to have a much bigger impact. It's going to snowball. You make small changes here and there, which is what we did. We made small changes, things that I never would have thought of. Like, instead of Dawn liquid dish soap, we switched to a solid dish block. Has it impacted me negatively? No, it hasn't. It's now second nature for me to scrub soap, scrub the dish, and rinse it.
How about dryer balls?
Dryer balls,
That I think
again,
is the fastest growing one. Like, we have got to stop using dryer sheets in laundry because they're just plastic. They're also, the coating that's in them is actually really bad for your dryer. And so you throw these 3 wool dryer balls in your dryer, and not only does it do the same thing that dryer sheet would have done in terms of preventing static and things, but it's without coating your clothes, without coating your dryer, without any waste. And in about 3 years, when they're done being used, that's right. So you buy 3, maybe 6, depending on if you have pets like me that try to steal them because they think it's a toy. It's going to last you 3 years. So honestly, it was the fastest, easiest switch we ever made because I just had no idea, right? Like, there are a lot of things that sometimes we're just not aware of. And I think this was just an opportunity to give it a try, and a couple of things that we tried that we had no idea. And then suddenly it was a better option. So we worked with it.
And what's driving me too on this journey is I gotta give credit where credit is due, is to my youngest son. He is probably the greenest little kid I've ever met. He's always concerned about, but there's litter. We need to stop and pick up the litter. I came home one day. I came home one day, and he was coming out of the woods with a trash can, wearing gloves, my gloves that I had for like auto work. And he was pushing a tire up the hill that he found in the woods. He's like, we got to get rid of it. I'm like, okay, buddy. So he's got the heart and soul of a conservationist. And it's something that he wants to do. He wants to make the world a better place. And if we can give him a voice in that and let him learn through this venture, then I'm all for it. And heck, he's already chipping in and helping around the store, and they help out at the farmers market and love to talk to people about the products and things, and just it's fabulous to see, and to watch them get excited about what we're trying to do. Right, like I said earlier, what drives me is making my world about 10% better for my kids. right? And to see them latch on to it and want to be a part of that is spectacular.
Yeah. No, that's amazing.
It's pretty funny that he says he's youngest because we have twins.
Oh, okay.
He is
the youngest, but only by a minute and a half.
Still younger.
Yes.
She's
Oh my gosh.
yeah. I have Irish twins,
Okay.
so they're the same age for like 3 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's I don't I
It's a whole thing.
my
We
head.
can do a whole nother
If I had a hat on,
podcast
I'd take it
about-
off for you guys.
Yeah.
We
Dealing
can
with
do a
those
whole
two.
other podcast about twins.
You got anything?
Yeah, I mean, what made you guys kind of want to start this, and then finding all the products? Like, do you guys use?
So
all
I
of it
think
at
one of
home?
my absolute favorite parts of this entire process
Mhm.
was getting to meet all of these really cool vendors. So I'd love people come in often and ask if we make these products. And our answer is that for some of them, not yet.
Mhm.
There are some we'd like to eventually make in-house, but it's not the case yet. But for most of them, no, we get to support other small businesses. And we had to come up with kind of our determination for what means that's our vendor for that type of product. And some of it's because of testing multiple types. Some of it was because it was, just the right thing. Maybe it's as local as possible. So a lot of things, what I describe is we tried to find when we were picking different products, the best possible product as local as possible, preferably not sold in some other mass market.
Mhm.
And that we had the opportunity to get to know the vendor. So we're proud to be able to say that, we have products from Baltimore and we have products from Richmond and we have products here from Nokesville. But then I have, I have a product here from Chantilly. So lots of local vendors and getting to know those individual vendors and also giving them another opportunity to sell in yet another space is still my favorite part. We'll make jokes or make a comment about, hey, there was a cool post from Kate today. Well, what we're speaking of is the owner of Dip because she's just an awesome human. Or, oh, look, that particular business, is really taking off with one of their other products. That's so awesome for them. Like, getting to be a part of their success as well as our own is just really cool. But being able to say that a lot of these products, it's just a bonus that they're sustainability products, that they aren't, that's not their first and foremost, right? It's not like, hey, I found you a laundry detergent that you can refill. Hey, I found you one of the best laundry detergents around with none of the chemicals that are being banned in other states. That is still incredibly good at what it does. And we can buy it in large volumes so that you can buy it in whatever volume you want.
Mhm.
Like that's a pretty cool concept to be able to work on. And it's definitely the fun part of this job.
Mhm. Yeah.
One thing that I wanted, you guys deliver, right?
We do.
We do.
You guys deliver,
We do.
and you guys deliver locally,
Sure.
obviously. But how does that work? How does the whole delivery process work for you guys?
Yeah, so basically, you go to the website, find what you want. You select on certain items. Let's say if you want something that's refillable, then you would just select the line item that says refill my container at certain price per ounce. That order then gets submitted to us. Your address and all that comes in, and then basically, I show up early morning to pick up the container off your front porch or the bag or whatever you've got it in. I bring it to the store. We refill the container, send you an invoice partway through the day. Once that invoice is paid, I deliver the product at the end of the day. So
Wow.
it's basically a 1-day turnaround, and it's focused on, again, getting you the best possible products without making it just another errand. That's the big
You're-
thing is that
You're a man of a lot of different hats.
Yes.
That is
I
awesome.
mean, in the name of small business, there's
Yeah.
definitely 14 hats, right?
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's often a juggling act of making sure the fewest number of balls hits the ground as possible. And that's what being a small business owner is, and that
Yeah.
transition,
I
and
mean,
that learning curve.
I was going to say that just an example of what that kind of looks like for someone is someone placed an order for laundry detergent as a refill, and then a couple of other products that were not a refillable, but just a grab and go. And so on his way here that morning, he stopped at her porch, grabbed the container for the laundry detergent, refilled that, put some dishwasher pods in a brown paper bag, grabbed the other products that she needed, put them back in a bag that she came with, and emailed her an invoice just for the refill product, because we don't know how many ounces it's going to be until we refill it. She paid that, and on his way home, he put it back on her doorstep. And so it's just an easy concept. The other real quick one is we're at the farmers markets at the City of Manassas farmers market about every other Saturday. If you can't get to the store, but you can get to the farmers market, you can also bring us your containers to the farmers market. We'll deliver them for free at the end of the day.
Really?
Awesome.
Oh wow. Okay, so you guys
So
are
while you're shopping at the farmers market, bring us your containers.
Yeah, just tell them what you want.
Yeah, we'll write it out and we'll invoice you when we have it.
okay. Speaking of containers, you guys take glass?
We do. Go ahead.
Yeah, we take it not for recycling, reuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do accept donations of jars, glass jars.
Okay.
The only thing that we ask is that they are clean and have lids. And again, even if they have labels, bring them to us. We'll still use them.
Although if you want to pull the labels off for us,
we'll love you
That
till
would
the
be
end of
we'll
the
love
earth.
you more.
Yes.
That would be fantastic.
One less step.
But yeah, we have a jar library in the store, and what the purpose of that library is for people to be able to take something if they need a product and they forgot their container or they don't have it, take a jar. All we ask is that you bring us some in the future. It just donate some back to the cause so that we have a running tally of jars that are available for our clients. It's just one of the three options. You either bring in your own, use one of ours, or purchase one of the more upscale ones that we have available. So
Yeah, like a pretty jar for hand soap, pumped,
Yeah.
whatever. We sell all of those as well. But yeah, we'll take all your glass jars. In fact, what's the story? You just got a bunch of little ones in.
yeah, we just got
yesterday,
a woman
a couple
came
days ago?
in from her place of employment. They use glass sample vials that are capped and clean and wonderful little 2-ounce jars and glass vials. And she said, I don't know if you can use these. And I took a whole bag of them and was like, bring me more.
Yes.
Because it's fantastic for somebody that comes in and says, oh, I just want to try a little bit of this. Like, hey, I've got the jar for you.
Yeah, that'd
Here's
be perfect.
2
Instead having,
ounces
a
of-
giant.
Right.
Yeah,
It's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Instead of
it's-
the pasta jar
and-
with 2 ounces in the
Yeah.
bottom of it.
and
Yeah.
we're not in a position as an organization to have to buy those containers.
Mhm.
It's if they're getting repurposed and provided by others because they're going off to the landfill or going off to be recycled, we can repurpose them and extend their life.
Yeah.
And what we're hoping, and the purpose of all this, is that we'll provide this kind of circular experience where people take the jars from here, they use them, they rinse them out, clean them up, bring them back, they get picked up by somebody else, and instead of worrying about the recycling component of it, now we're just in this continuous cycle of reuse. And that's ultimately the goal, is to be able to add value to the experience by providing the ability for somebody to walk out of the store with what they want.
Yeah. It
She
doesn't
had-
even have to be like a glass jar, right? If you want to bring in your old plastic containers and refill it that way, with
Mhm.
the shampoo and conditioner, just
Yep.
reuse the old ones that way too.
Absolutely. You can use your own. You can bring in your own plastic to use for yourself. The only reason we don't take them for the jar library is because we can't sanitize them at a super high heat.
Oh yeah.
So we can't hand them off to somebody else, but you should. I've been using the same container that I think at one point was like Arm & Hammer laundry detergent. I've been using the same container for over a year. They're super durable. I'm just refilling it here. I know a guy, so I can refill it quickly. I send it to work. It comes home full. It's amazing. But also that kind of aligns with you. You came in and you were like, all right, tell me about this curl cream, this curling gel. And we told you, and I think one of the unknown or unsaid benefits of a refill store is you can buy a little bit and see if you like it.
Yeah.
And if it works out for you, then you come back and get more. And that's like a cool additional bonus of I didn't have to buy the big thing of something and then be like, turns out I'm going to use it because I have it, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, so just an extra bonus.
I find it amazing on the, I mean, how you mentioned this earlier. When somebody walks in through the door, you don't have to change their mind.
Right.
And I mean, that is something incredible because, I mean, when I looked up the refillable, the
refill stores,
the refill stores, you guys are like the only one in the area. And we were talking about this earlier. I think the impact that you guys are going to make in the community here is going to be mass. It's going to be.
We hope so.
Because I wasn't aware of. We did some research, and I mean the numbers were so big that I don't even remember them. On when we recycle plastic, 85% of it, or like 90%
like
of it, or something.
90% can't even actually be recycled.
Can't even be actually recycled.
Right.
And I say that because I used to work for a recycling facility.
Oh.
We only recycled plastic bumpers, tires, metal. A guy had a very, very good, kind of like you guys, had a very good idea of, well, nobody's recycling around here.
Right.
To the point where it's going to make an impact. And he went out and bought grapple trucks, and he serves a lot of the dealerships in our area.
That's cool.
In the DMV area, and recycles all of that stuff. One of the issues that he used to run into was we could not find a recycling facility that would recycle the plastic bumpers. And that's because it's just so hard to have that stuff reused.
Making plastic is easy.
Yes. And 100,000 animals die every year, annually, from plastic
ingestion.
Yeah, and getting entangled in plastic, and I never knew that. I never knew that, and the amount of plastic that goes through the oceans. I mean, oh my God.
It's when you look at the like you said, the numbers behind it are absolutely staggering.
Yes,
the United States is one of 200 countries in the world, yet we produce 10% of the world's plastic waste. We produce a tenth of it just ourselves. Of that 40 million tons of plastic waste that's produced annually, 85% of it is packaging.
Yeah.
It's pointless plastic. And we're trying our best to let people know there's another option, right? There's multiple other options. There's, instead of going out and buying that next big jug of detergent, bring the old jug to us. You know, we'll save you a little money in the long run by offering you a more concentrated product that doesn't have as much water, that's not as diluted as what you're buying in the store. You're supporting a small business. You're reducing the amount of plastic going into the waste stream. There's all kinds of benefits to it. So the great news is the people that walk into our store willingly, we don't have to change their minds. They're kind of already about, I'm curious, what is this about? Or I already know what you're about. I think it's a great idea. We hear both of those all the time. I think what our goal is, as we start to look forward, our goal is, how do we take people that aren't aware of what we are and what we're trying to do? How do we change that from unaware to curious, right? And that turn that curiosity into action, into maybe changing their minds and getting them to take those small steps that we want them to take to have that snowball impact down the road.
Especially if it's just maybe one or two things, right? Change one or two things. If everybody changed just one or two things, what impact would it have?
Yeah.
What
I
would
can use the, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say just another anecdote to that I wasn't even aware of until, again, we started this process. A single straw, aluminum straw that you buy, for every straw that's purchased and used, you're eliminating almost 600 plastic straws from the waste stream. It's simple.
I saw that. I peeped it, and I was like, I'm gonna buy one. But you guys aren't open today, so
Special for you. What you really want, and it's my favorite, is we have this. I love the metal straws as well, but I have a set. We have a travel set that's my favorite. And caveat: this is John's full-time job. This is my baby, but it's my part-time job. I am helping make sure we still have health insurance and things while we start this up. But my favorite thing to carry around is this little pouch that we sell that has 2 reusable metal straws that are collapsible.
Really?
The cleaner that goes inside it, and a spork and a knife.
Oh, I love that.
Really?
So you're like ready to go. It's all in a pouch. It's got a keychain. It's hooked to my backpack. It goes everywhere with me.
Wow.
I don't need plastic cutlery at a restaurant, to-go place or whatever. I have my own straw, and it's right there. And then I just take it home and throw it in the dishwasher and put it back in, and I'm ready to go.
What is your most popular product so far?
Dip.
Really?
It's all about.
And we're not talking about dip as in
We're not
tobacco.
talking about putting it in your corner of your mouth.
Yeah. We're not talking about that kind of dip.
We're talking about dip shampoo and conditioner. It is a solid product. I mean, would you agree that that's our number one seller right now?
It's absolutely
that and dryer balls.
That and dryer balls are our most popular solid products right now.
I'm not saying this just because you guys are doing a podcast with us, but you guys, we're going to be shopping here a lot. It's amazing. Like, I mean, 3 years? They last 3 years?
3 years.
Wow.
3 years
That's
of every
incredible.
year use. It's way less expensive actually than even and dryer sheets are cheap.
Yeah.
But if you do the math, these are cheaper.
Yeah.
Plus they're cute. Ours look like animals and things. They're fun.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Wow.
all they're hand felted into these deep balls that look in different shapes. But in terms of the solid product that's our most popular, it's definitely the dip shampoo and conditioner. That product is only about 18 months old.
Really?
And she's already beating out liquids in competitions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Like with how well it works?
With
Okay,
how it works.
Dip
And what
is
it
that
looks like.
product that is so good at what it does as a shampoo and a conditioner that the fact that it's plastic free is just an added bonus.
Yeah.
It's not even an advertising point. This is one of the best shampoos and conditioners you're going to use, period.
Oh, wow.
And we have had multiple dip converts come in, and we start them off very simply and say, look, we have minis. We have these small versions of the bar that you can buy.
Try it.
That just try it. And you don't have to make the big commitment, right? But even so, that shampoo bar that you're buying that's this big is going to last you 2 months.
It's gonna save you 2 full bottles of shampoo.
That's, yeah.
So,
We go through a lot of, my kids, I don't know why. I'll
they
tell
have
my
her
daughter,
hair, that's why.
I'll tell my daughter, I'll be like, Mama, because they get confused at home because I say Mama to her and my daughter.
Yes.
But my daughter goes through conditioner and shampoo like, I'm
How
like,
old?
where's it going?
She's 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
she's 10. Yeah.
we have 10-year-olds. They just happen to be boys, so they have less hair.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a conception that they need a lot more than they do.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, another parent who has a girl with a ton of hair that was like, I gotta help this out, switched her to dip because the conditioner bar is so dense that you can get close to 9 months to a year out of one bar.
Oh, wow.
And you just wet the bar and you wet your hair and you stroke it down your hair a couple times, you wet it again, stroke it a couple times, and then comb it through. It works, and it's all I use. That and the curl gel is all I use. And she said she's so excited because not only is it working, and her daughter has figured out the nuances of using a solid product, but she's saving so much money.
Don't have to buy a new
from
bottle
the volume of conditioner.
I'm ready to buy stuff already. As soon as she runs out, we're gonna come by here. And
There
buy
you go. Yeah,
stuff.
use what you have first.
Yeah.
What's the product that you would say is the most refilled?
Refilled, I would say it's a toss up between laundry detergent and hand soap.
Okay.
Laundry detergent from a volume perspective, because people tend to buy more of it. Just, they'll buy it a half gallon or a gallon at a time. Hand soap is probably just as much the number of transactions that we do, just not as much.
Okay.
We also, we're also not afraid to tell the dirty little secret of foaming hand soap in this store.
Do you know the dirty little secret?
The dirty secret of foaming hand soap?
I do not.
Do you have foaming hand soap in your house, or is it just pumps?
No, we
have both.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have both.
So the dirty little secret of foaming hand soap that they don't want you to know about, it's 1 part liquid hand soap, 4 parts water.
Oh.
It's all about the pump top
So
and
as long as you have the
aeration
pump top?
of it. If you got the right pump top, you put in 20% soap, 80% water, toss it around, shake it up, and then use the aeration pump, and you've got perfectly foaming hand soap. That's it. So when you pay the same amount in a store for foaming hand soap versus regular hand soap,
You're paying for water.
you're paying full price for 80% less.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got on somebody's blacklist for saying that.
No.
Soft soap's not a fan of us now.
This day and age with the money that
Well, yeah. So if you can
high
get
priced
two
as everything
pumps,
is.
2 pumps of our hand soap, and then water, and get a full container, a 16-ounce container of 2 or 3 pumps, will get you, an 8 to 10-ounce container of hand soap. And I don't know about you, but my kids use too much, so we use foaming because otherwise it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So
that is awesome.
there's your tip for the day.
We really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how thankful me and my wife are for you guys coming onto our podcast. I really can't.
Well, thank you for reaching out and having the conversation. That means a lot to us as a startup little business to have these,
business.
have these kind of conversations, and particularly folks like you that are so locally focused. It means a lot to us, and to have that kind of support network and things like that is so important to us, and we can't thank you enough for that. Look forward to listening to not only this podcast but the others that you guys have.
Oh yeah, no, we're trying hard. We tell people all the time, we do it just because we want to spend quality time with each other, and then we also just I'm the talker. My wife, she's a great listener. My wife will listen
Talk for days.
and I can just keep on going, and I'm very, very long-winded. My kids are long-winded. So, I get it. I totally get it. But yeah, y'all's website. They can go to website to make any orders or anything like that.
Fillagreen.com. You can shop our website there as far as products.
Okay.
You can set up pickup and delivery options. We ship if you have family members, kids at college that you want to send some stuff to. The only thing we haven't figured out how to do yet is ship liquids, but
And
we're
for
working
that,
on it.
Also, for that, I'd love to point people, if you are listening to this and you are not local to us, we are always happy to help you find your local refillery if there's one near you.
Sweet.
I'd much rather promote use of a local refillery and support them, because unfortunately, many of them are not sustaining right now in terms of being able to stay open. So solid products and things, I got you. But if you need liquid refills, until we figure out a better system, I'd much rather, if you have a local refill store, to be able to send you there and promote them.
Right. We're trying to help like I said earlier, we're not competition with those refilleries. It's not. I'm not going to take somebody's business from 30, 40 miles away from here.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not trying to take their business.
Yeah.
I would rather point people to them
Right.
and keep the ecosystem of refilleries functional and thriving, because ultimately that does all of us good. And that's, I think Bev hit the nail on the head when she said that, which is we'd rather send you somewhere local to yourself. And there are plenty of resources that we can offer in that to get people that information in their local vicinity.
I just want to point out how long it took him to say that.
That's why it's a podcast. Well,
So Alfredo and John can talk.
yeah. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. John, Beverly, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for opening your shop up to us and
Thanks for having
us to show people what you guys are about. And we hope that, man, I can't tell you how excited I am for you. I think you guys are going to make a very, very big impact.
Yeah, I think this is definitely gonna.
This is going to be
reach a lot of
something good.
people.
Well,
Fantastic.
we're super excited, and we can't wait to share it with everybody.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, everybody. That is it for today. Don't forget, comment, like, share. If you haven't yet, subscribe. Thank you for another episode of PS and
Jess.
we'll catch you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.